listening to Sudbury News Talk.
I want to show you something.
Stand by.
On the morning shift.
Anything
Could happen.
Sudbury News Talk on the morning shift.
All right, welcome to Sudbury News Talk on the morning shift. I'm AJ Walsh. Thanks for being with us today, everyone. Glad to be with you. As I just adjust my camera here, I didn't notice that the top of my head was missing on our camera. But anyways, it's great to be with you today. It's Friday. It's always good to be Friday. And lots of optimism about, for a lot of us who work a Monday to Friday gig, the weekend. The weekend's always great, especially with Christmas coming up. We know that we can prepare for Christmas and shopping and all that stuff. And I know it's a stressful time for a lot of people in the year. And so, I also look at it as being rather stressful. So I'm with you on that one. So you're definitely not alone. You're definitely not alone. And I'm not sure what's going on here. I already muted that camera, or muted that computer. And I'm not sure where the comments are here, so my computer is just not acting the way that it's supposed to. Anyways, it's brand new. Or Facebook totally changed the way that they have it working. So anyways, you're listening to us live on CKLU 96.7 FM in the morning. Weekday morning, 7:30 to 8:30. Also streaming at cklu.ca. And you just go there, you click on the Radio Player Canada app, and you can stream us. Also, you can take us anywhere you like and listen to us anywhere, anytime on your favorite device. If you download the Radio Player Canada app from cklu.ca, that's always a good thing to do. A lot of people are totally into the podcast thing these days. And listening to, so you can also listen to us and other great programming from CKLU that way. Also, Facebook Live, facebook.com/Sudbury News, and youtube.com/Sudbury News is where you can catch us each and every weekday morning, 7:30 to 8:30. But then it's also there afterwards for your viewing pleasure anytime you like. You can even go and see other shows if there's something that was said that you wanted to go back to. All the shows are there. You just got to click on the date and you can see that. So comments are working today. So good morning, David. Thanks for being with us. Again, I'm at the studio, my home studio. So it's a different setup here. So we can see comments are working on this. Good morning, Stacy. Friday. Happy Friday. And happy Friday to me and Sudbury News. Thank you very much. I really appreciate that. There we go. And we have also our YouTube. I just can't see the handle. I can't really see a name. You know how people have different handles. But good morning to you on YouTube. Cloud Ass MC. That's what it says. So Cloud Ace MC. That's what I see here. Anyways, but yeah, good morning. And a lot of us don't want to use our names too and be publicized with our names, but that's fine. A handle is good too. Good morning, Shane. Thanks for being with us. It's going to be a good show today. Lots to talk about as usual, and we have our usual weather sports to kick things off, and then we're going to get right into everything else. As I could see, my Facebook feed here is frozen, and they want me to just go on something else. I don't know. Something's acting up here. Something is acting differently than normal. That happens on Facebook, though. They change things up quite regularly. So it is what it is. Yeah, so Cloud Ace MC. There you go. That's what it is. And that's what we're sticking with on YouTube. So let's get right into some weather, some sports, and then we're getting right into the headlines today, a couple videos, and, all the news just before we head into the weekend. We'll be back right after this. Sudbury Weather brought to you by SudburyWeather.ca. It lands on our Sudbury.news Facebook page. Check it out. If you have any comments or suggestions or anything like that, feel free to let us know, because it is a work in progress, and we definitely welcome any comments anyone might have about that, to making it better, because it's there to serve the community. It's there to serve you. Good morning, Louise. Thanks for being with us today. Currently it's 0 and feels like -6 though. Humidity is 97%. Today, expect periods of snow, and it's snowing currently. If you're out there, or at least where I am, it's snowing. 2 to 4 centimeters are predicted. The wind will be 20 kilometers, becoming light this afternoon. Temperature steady near 0. Wind chill -7 this morning. Tonight, flurries. Local amount 2 centimeters. So just, not too much. But yesterday, if you were driving, as I was, right in the midst of that on the highway, it was pretty bad. So hopefully, if you were driving, you were able to, drive according to conditions and stay safe. I know there was a few accidents out there. So tonight, more snow is expected. Wind is kind of moderate, 15 kilometers. Temperature steady near -2. Wind chill -5 overnight. And then Saturday, flurries. Local amount, again, another 2 centimeters predicted. Wind, it's same thing, 15 kilometers. Steady near -2, but the wind chill will be -6. So what you see today, you more than likely will see tomorrow, at least according to the forecast. And then your long range, as we mentioned, for Saturday, same thing as today. And then Sunday, 40% chance of flurries, -1 is the high. Monday, looks like we're getting a little clearing, a little mix of sun and cloud, high of -2. And then the snow is predicted to come back on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. 30%, 60%, 6% chance of precipitation those 3 days. -9, -10, -12. So that's your weather, brought to you by SudburyWeather.ca. A little look at your satellite on Northern Ontario, as the clouds just kind of sweep over the Great Lakes and then over central Northern Ontario into Quebec. That's what we're seeing right now. More snow predicted for Sudbury in the amount of 2 centimeters today, 2 centimeters tomorrow. So at least it's not that much. We'll take it as it comes, and we might just have a white Christmas, which a lot of people are hoping for. And it's not all that bad. We kind of got off pretty lucky this beginning of winter. So we had a couple months of grace period. So I'm not complaining. Weather brought to you by SudburyWeather.ca. We'll be back with some sports right after this. All right, and Sudbury Sports brought to you by that Sudbury Sports Guys website, sudburysports.com, and that Sudbury Sports Guy is Randy Pascal. So currently, there's, the Sudbury Wolves put out their own kind of promo of tonight's game, but it was put out yesterday. So when they're saying tomorrow's game, they actually mean tonight. So let's just check in with them, make sure they got some volume, make sure that they're
Hey,
large
Wolves
enough.
fans,
There
it's
you
the
go.
final weekend before the boys head back home for Christmas break. Boy, is it a busy one. The Pack have 3 games in 3 days, starting with their final home game before the holidays tomorrow against the Mississauga Steelheads. Puck drop is scheduled for 7:05 p.m. and the game is proudly sponsored by Best Tech, who'll be here at the rink with prizes and giveaways. Fans who wear ugly holiday sweaters will be entered for a chance to win great gifts throughout the game. And don't you worry, if you don't have one in your closet already, these awesome Wolves holiday sweaters will be on sale here at the rink. There's also a rumor that Santa might be in the building to do the final checking of his nice list, so make sure you're on your best behavior. The Pack wrap up their pre-Christmas schedule with a pair of road tilts in Niagara on Saturday and Oshawa on Sunday. Tickets for the Wolves' final home game before the holidays are on sale now at greatersudbury.ca/tickets. And go Wolves, go.
And you can catch that game right here on CKLU 96.7 FM. And, or that's if you can't get to the game. And either way, you're going to unless you're traveling down south, the only way you're going to catch it is either with us or on Eastlink. So there you go. That's the Sudbury Wolves. Brought to you by SudburySports.com. That Sudbury Sports guy is Randy Pascal. And we'll be back with some news headlines right after this. All right, so starting off with headlines, it's something that I'm sure a lot of people with children would want to know about. The school buses are canceled across the district, and that includes Sudbury, Espanola, the North Shore. So Sudbury Student Services Consortium has announced that due to road conditions and in the interest of safety, all school-related transportation services are canceled for December 16th, that is today, for districts of Sudbury, Espanola, Massey, and Manitoulin Island. So that's always good to know. I know when we had our little ones taking the bus, you always want to know that right away before you don't know it. The nonprofit organization Cultural Industries in Ontario North has requested $7 million in municipal support towards the creation of the $39.3 million facility called Freshwater Production Studios. So City Council expressed early support for backing the new film studio. So that's the one that would be going on the property where the Kingsway Entertainment District was supposed to take place. The new arena, casino, all that stuff. This is where this particular movie studio would be going. And speaking of that, there's an interesting story in Sudbury.com that for some reason there it is. I got it. Thunder Bay high school class interviewed Ryan Reynolds. So Ryan Reynolds says he's open to the idea of attending a future Wake the Giant music festival. So they're interviewing him about that. And I just thought to myself, how cool is Ryan Reynolds? Now he's making a bid for the Ottawa Senators currently with a group of people. But Ryan Reynolds just talking to a high school class, like, can you imagine just conducting that interview being in high school? The Canadian movie star, best known for his role as the title character in Deadpool, not to mention being one of the highest grossing actors of all time, on Wednesday virtually joined the media club at Denis Franklin Cromarty School. Sorry about that, just reading it on the fly for the first time. Answering questions about his career and even addressed rumors he's interested in being part of the new ownership group of the Ottawa Senators, as I just mentioned. The 46-year-old Vancouver native, whose most recent works include Pokemon, Detective Pikachu, and Free Guy. Free Guy is a really cool movie if you get a chance to watch that. Was intrigued about the annual festival, an event designed to welcome Indigenous students from remote northern communities who study in Thunder Bay. And he said, do I have to know how to play a musical instrument or something? So he was in his full, he was being himself. He's very funny guy, I find, just off the cuff. So Ontario's top doctor links viral surge to negative consequences of extended mask mandates, rules out new mask mandates for now. So that may be our deep dive. I don't know. We'll have to see. We'll get back to that. So anyways, Ontario's top doctor is linking the idea that the viral surge and negative consequences that we had to the fact that we had extended mask mandates. So he's saying that could have had negative effects on our society. So they are not thinking that they would want to go ahead with more mandates. So we'll have to look at exactly what he's saying, why he's saying it, because I know there's a very polarizing view on that. Meant to be, not meant to be. There's a huge polarizing view with that. A lot of people are just as passionate about not having mask mandates as there are a group of people that are just as passionate to want them to come back. So this is very interesting here. Sudbury Star, join a local board or committee or panel in Greater Sudbury. You know how we talk about being, more involved in the city and making, more of a difference, and we get on politicians a lot. Well, here's a chance for you to get involved, be on councils, boards, committees, panels, and things like that. But we have a couple comments coming in. Shane feels the doctor is starting to make sense with that comment. And then Stacy on YouTube, it looks like, I thought they weren't supporting the development of anything as per last year election statements. Oh, that is to the new movie studio, I think, right? Supporting development of anything just yet as per election statements. Yes. I thought that too. When I saw that, I was kind of surprised. If that's the comment, if that's the story that you're commenting on, the new movie studio and putting taxpayers' dollars to that and supporting that, I definitely agree with that. I thought, yeah, that was an interesting one too, given the current climate of how people are feeling with, the arena and how they mentioned they can't be spending money on it, but there was no problem fast tracking the $100 million legacy library to be built downtown, and already started work on some of the groundwork on that. So David is saying studio is going to be this studio is going next to the proposed site of the new now canceled Kingsway Entertainment District Municipal Arena project. Oh, thank you very much for setting that record straight. And then Stacy, obviously, yes, that is what she was commenting on. So here's an opportunity to get involved with the city, getting, on boards, committees, panels, things like that. And I know a lot of people that are listening and watching the show are very passionate about the city. So here's your opportunity, right? The City of Greater Sudbury is now accepting applications for local board, committee, and advisory panel members. So that could be you. Join a group to provide advice, information, and expertise to the municipality on specific priorities and begin resident perspectives into council decision-making. These groups provide an opportunity for residents to contribute to the greater good and provide valuable insight into programs and services in the city. Application forms are available online at greatersudbury.ca/sign-on, which I think is a really cool handle, sign on. So greatersudbury.ca//sign on. By calling 311 is another way you can find out about how to do that, to request an application by mail or in person at your nearest library or citizen service center, or at the one-stop counter at Tom Davies Square. Applications must be received by January the 8th at 4:30 p.m. So you got a few weeks in order to get your name in for any of those committees, boards, panels, where you can have your voice heard to influence decisions that the city makes. Now, one way is to do it is to kind of vent on this show. Obviously, it's a community conversation, but that's another way to really to dig in and and be part of the decision making. Make a difference. The following groups are receiving applications: statutory appointments, fence viewers, and livestock valuers. Oh my goodness, I don't even know what that is. Committees, boards, and corporations, Board of Health for Public Health Safety, Health Sudbury, and districts, Committee of Adjustments, Sign Variance Committee, Conservation Sudbury, the Greater Sudbury Hydro, the Greater Sudbury Police Services Board, the Library Board, and the Greater Sudbury Utilities. Also, advisory panels, accessibility for Bell Park, Lively Recreation, Older Adult Center, and the solid waste. So again, for more information, go to greatersudbury.ca/sign on. You know what's interesting? As I'm reading this, I'm like, yeah, that could probably be something I might be interested in as well. And Stacy, yes. So talking about the new proposed film studio, they knew about this in August, which I do believe so. Really cool story here of a restaurant, an establishment that's going to have outside pods to be able to go in and eat. That's pretty cool. I want to get to that. Also, they've had cameras on the buses for a while, and they now have some, they're able to get a few naughty drivers, and they're able to gather some statistics on people who aren't, kind of paying attention to that bus stop sign and basically breaking the law by passing by it. Yesterday, Natalie is chiming in here, probably about the boards and stuff like that. So, to Stacy regarding the Freshwater Kingsway film studio proposal, the motion moved forward to support the idea of the project, but it doesn't commit council to anything more than that. Here is a link. So there's a link in the comments there if you'd like to see from Natalie, who's on City Council and thankfully, has been a part of the show. Really great to give us information as we're speculating things and to just kind of set the record straight. So we really appreciate that. So there's a link there, which someone who is attending in person at the council meeting on Tuesday, where I'm asking important questions regarding that property. As always, our city council meetings can be watched live. That's correct, on Eastlink and on the city website. And the link to the council meetings is provided as well. Thank you very much, Natalie, for providing that. It's true. We as citizens sometimes say there's no way for us to know what's going on and blah, blah, blah. But yeah, they are televised and you can just watch them on the website to stay on top of things for sure. So thanks for sharing that. I'm just sharing the link too, just in the comment section here on the video, but in the comment section on Facebook, you can just click on that. Save it to your favorites if you want to check in on city council meetings. Here on Superior Catholic District School Board cancels classes due to cyber incident. So yeah, yesterday they sent the children home from school because they were cyber attacked. Classes due to resume on January 3rd after the winter break. So they get out of school earlier. I made a joke at school. I said one of the students are really savvy on the computer and they basically did this in order to get out early, but obviously I wouldn't think that's actually the case. The Huron Superior Catholic District School Board has canceled all classes for Thursday afternoon and Friday due to a cyber incident that shut down its communication system, including phones and internet access. The Huron Superior Catholic School Board has canceled all classes. In a written statement from Director of Education Danny Viato, the school board said it became aware of the incident Thursday morning and said upon our discovery, we immediately took steps to secure our network and retained expert assistance. We are in the process of investigating and understanding the full impact of this incident, the statement said. I'm sure the students are thankful for it either way. Most of them would be. Okay, the link is just for the freshwater project. Thanks, Natalie. I think I said it was for the city council meetings. For city council meetings, you just go on the website and check it out. And I'm sure through a little bit of navigating, you'll find where the live streams are for city council very easily. Thank you very much. So awesome for providing it, Natalie. Sudbury Star also interviewed members about it, the movie setup. Cool. So we're going to be saving the link. Thank you very much for sharing that. Any other stories? Let's see. Road closure last night. There was an accident on Highway 144 between Dowling and Timmins. The road was closed. Unfortunately, that's what happens there. It's a 2-laner all the way up, and And even though they paved mostly the whole thing, which is great, it's a lot smoother to drive on now. It still is what it is. It's a 2-lane for, a 3.5 hour drive between Sudbury and Timmins. And that's just unfortunately something that happens. I think it's open now. I haven't seen any updates on that on Highway 144. So there you go. Sudbury Police have put out a kind of comical little video here for police safety. They have their little elf in the video, and I appreciate them. Instead of just sending out dry safety messages, they're doing a really great job and making it entertaining and funny. So if you get a chance, check that out on our Facebook page. It's kind of interesting. And then also, Donald Cardinal says, don't forget if you're traveling far, let someone know your plans just in case something happens. I think that's the case all the time. If you're traveling anywhere, if you're going on a hike, if you're going fishing, whatever it is, let some people know where you're going. So here, the one thing I didn't get a chance to share the other day was there was a viral TikTok video. It's got millions of views from a couple in Cape Real. I just wanted to just share that with everyone. If you've already seen it, I apologize, but for a lot of us, we haven't seen it. And for our listeners on radio, it should still do the trick, even though you can't see it.
A Sudbury area dog is going viral thanks to her new role as big sister to a set of baby twins. In fact, Lucy's efforts have earned her thousands of fans on TikTok. CTV's Ian Campbell has more.
Whoever said you can't teach an older dog new tricks clearly hasn't met Lucy.
We have a blowout. Go get a diaper. Go get a diaper.
While some dogs might fetch sticks or balls, Lucy's taken on some new responsibilities. It's come as a surprise to some, including a proud dad.
But she's smart. You show her an item, you say the name of the item, and she knows it right off the hop. So it's, she's been very, very easy to train.
Do you want to help Dad with chores tonight?
The 7-year-old chocolate lab used to get all the attention of her parents, Josh and Kelly. But a few weeks ago, the pack of 3 became a pack of 5. The family welcomed twin baby girls Lily and Lennon to the mix. In a bid to keep her involved, they started looking for ways to train and involve Lucy.
Oh, it's been amazing. I think at first she was expecting them to leave at some point. I don't think she thought they'd stay forever, but I think she's adjusting, and it's just so nice to see her with them. It makes me really happy.
Lucy's feats have already earned her thousands of fans on TikTok and the attention of international media. When they went to bed one night, a video of her helping out maybe had about 20,000 views.
That climbed up to, I think it's 1.8 million now for one video. And altogether, I think I have about 2.5 million views with Lucy helping the girls out.
Lucy, can you go get the milk?
These days, it's milk she's getting out of the fridge instead of beer. All of this started just to let Lucy know she's a vital part of the family. While she might have had her nose out of joint at first, she's now head over paws for the 2 new babies.
Like last night, for example, I was having a hard time with the girls, and Lucy just walked over, woke her up, and she got up and came to help me. When both girls are crying, it's a little bit tough to deal, especially when you're feeding one. So yeah, Lucy's been awesome.
She may be man's best friend, but she's now relishing her new role as big sister. Ian Campbell, CTV News, Sudbury.
Yeah, all these stories like that are really cool. And I don't know, I've never had a dog that smart. So just imagine, just telling it to fetch anything you want. And I'm having computer issues here for some strange reason. Let's see. Now we're back, and we're into I saw this yesterday. I thought it was really cool. So if you want to go out, have dinner, it's hard. We have these patios now, and in the summer it's fine. And everybody was kind of with the pandemic and stuff, and closing down, and then distancing, and restaurants really felt the effect of that. A lot of people had to be creative with alternatives to, you want to go out and eat. So what are you going to do? You don't feel safe inside. I think this is where this came from mainly. And so even in the winter, you can go out and kind of eat in a patio setting, but in these little kind of igloo type of pods. So I thought that was pretty cool. So let's just check in on this.
It's a cool dining experience you may have seen closer to Toronto, but now Northerners won't have to make the drive for it.
And we thought, well, why not bring it to Sudbury and to Northern Ontario?
They're called igloos or snow globes, and you won't have to bundle up for it. Heated, insulated structures where diners can enjoy the cozy comforts of indoors, outdoors, despite the dropping temperatures.
It'll bring in a new crowd, so I'm excited to meet new people, and yeah, it's going to be new and exciting.
And it's a hot topic.
We have these twinkling lights set up.
Since the first social media post went out, the Daventry Kitchen and Bar says they've received dozens of messages and calls.
Within 2 hours, everyone was messaging us and just asking if they could book right away, and yeah, the hype is huge. So people are really excited in Sudbury for this.
Something that many are excited to try.
I think in Northern Ontario we really look forward to for the summer. So the fact that we can do that during the winter makes it pretty neat thing.
It's going to be a great time. Like those igloos, I've never really seen anything done like that before.
So we're going to come and do it, probably with another couple.
The snow globes will be open for dining on Monday. There will be a $20 registration fee with 100% of the proceeds going to a local charity.
We're thinking of rotating charities monthly. So like the Food Bank, Infant Food Bank, Elgin St. Mission, so a few different local charities.
The Daventry says the snow globes can be booked by calling the restaurant in advance. Amanda Hicks, CTV News, Sudbury.
So what do you think? Is that something that you would do? Do you think that the novelty of that is worth it to go out with your significant other or friends or whatever to have, dinner in a snow globe? I thought it was kind of neat. I just didn't know, I wouldn't do it just to do it. Like if I was going out to eat and there wasn't enough seating in the restaurant, or I was just going out to eat and there was there, and I'd say, yeah, let's give this a try. I don't know if I would go out just because I want to go eat in a snow globe or an igloo or a snow tent or whatever it is, but kind of neat. I think it's from a business perspective. I'm glad businesses are able to have them so that way they can actually serve clients and make money. Like that's why they're in business. That's what they're in business to do, right? And they've been really hit through the pandemic. So I'm really grateful that they have that possibility to have extra customers there to eat. No doubt about it. And okay, Shane says, yeah, for the social media aspect of it, the selfies, the cute photos, yeah, I'm in a snow globe eating. I guess that's the world we live in, right? It is. So there you go. I think there's a great amount of people that would go just for that, no doubt. Also, our buses, unfortunately, there's people who aren't paying attention to the stop sign. And I don't know if we want, I didn't realize so many people did that. I've never witnessed it myself. I've always stopped at the stop, sign on the bus. And I've also, observed everyone else doing it. I've never seen somebody just kind of just keep going through after the stop sign came on. But apparently a lot of people have been doing it, and to prove it, now they've installed cameras, and so they have evidence of it. So let's check in with Tony, my good friend Tony Rima from CTV, and they got the story on that.
Not stopping for school buses with flashing red lights and deployed stop arms continues to be a problem in Greater Sudbury. The consortium that manages busing says there is a growing concern about the disregard for safety around school buses. CTV's Alan Everson reports.
Some buses in the Sudbury Student Services Consortium are equipped with stop arm cameras. Since September, 130 violations have been caught on camera.
We have 7 buses that are equipped with this new technology, and unfortunately, people are not stopping for our buses. They see the amber lights, they see the red lights, but they're just not stopping, which is causing great concern for all of us at the consortium, school bus operators, and of course, parents.
Yves Gauvet has been driving a school bus for 9 years and says since September, the stop arm camera on his bus has caught 6 drivers.
Well, the camera gets activated automatically as soon as the stop arm comes out. But if there is a car that goes through my stop arm, there is a little red button that I can press. And then what I do is I contact dispatch and I just give them the location and time.
The video and information captured on the stop arm camera is then forwarded to police. The Sudbury Student Services Consortium says amber lights are designed to give drivers notice the school bus is approaching a stop.
Well, amber lights are new in Ontario, so since July, this is new technology on school buses. We are the last province to move to these new amber lights, and they have been tested, and they're actually very good to let the motorists who are approaching the school bus know that the bus is approaching a stop.
The one that's most concerning is the children getting off the bus. Some do cross in front of us.
The consortium reminds drivers they still must stop for a school bus, even on 4-lane roads, with the exception of a median separating the lanes. Elena Everson, CTV News, Sudbury.
Yeah, so interesting stuff there, right? My computer just, I guess I got to take a computer course. Yeah, here we go. Yeah, it's got to do it like that. You got to do it like this. Okay, you just have to do it twice in order for it to work, unfortunately. So there you go. Any thoughts on that? Do you see people actually going through these stop signs? I've never witnessed it myself. I didn't realize it was such a problem. I mean, we've had incidents around here where I know of one, at least, a friend of mine who I went to school with. His son, unfortunately, was a victim of that and never survived, and it was quite publicized, and I think was the catalyst to bring about, at least locally, a lot of changes to the way that the safety aspects around busing happen. But yeah, I've never witnessed it myself. I thought that people would be cognizant of the fact that there's little people on these buses, and when they stop, you never know if they're going to get out and go across the road or what they're going to do when they come out of the bus. So why wouldn't you stop? Sure, inconvenient, I guess, as it is. We're all in a rush, but I've never seen people just kind of plow through that stop sign myself. So there'd be a lot of angry people honking, I'm sure, if that did happen. And so we might have a little bit of time for our deep dive today. Ontario's top doctor links viral surge to quote-unquote negative consequences of extended mask mandates and rules out new ones for now. And I don't know about this top doctor title. I know. He's the doctor at the top. But it just, I don't know. It's just, they got to come up with another name. It's top doctor. Whenever it's in the headlines, it just makes me think, I don't know. It just, Ontario's Chief Medical Officer of Health. There you go. That just, to me, that's all I'm going to say from now on. Noticed a lot of bad habits on the roads increasing. And yes, Jerome has seen it. Thank you very much. I was hoping some of you would chime in on that. Cliff says, I've never seen anyone going through the stop arm, but I have seen my share of crazy bus drivers. Oh my goodness, that's funny. To turn the tide on them. Yeah, how safe are our children driving around with crazy bus drivers? That's one thing we've never thought of talking about before, I guess. Yeah, so not sure, Stacey, if that's for the deep dive conversation or this particular conversation we're talking about, or the not paying attention to bus safety and that stop arm that comes out. Ontario's Chief Medical Officer of Health waded into the controversial issue of immunity debt Thursday, saying the issue needs more study, but it makes sense to him that pandemic public health measures, such as masking, are a factor in the record numbers of young children becoming seriously ill with respiratory viruses this year. Okay, so immunity debt. So the idea that if you stay away from germs and viruses and you isolate yourself too long and you're not exposed to them, now makes you more susceptible to things that are going to be out there. And then, so our bodies are they have antibodies. They're meant to have germs and viruses coming at them, and they're meant to deal with things. And yes, sometimes the viruses or germs get the most of us if we are immune deficient, or we're not doing our best to boost our immune systems. It can, but our bodies are really amazing mechanisms to deal with these things already, right? We wouldn't be here if we weren't. Like, we wouldn't have population crossing over the 8 billion mark if we didn't already have these things. The solution we've had, which would be vaccinations, which arguably one side believes very strongly, and there's another side that says, maybe not so, spectacular. We only had vaccinations within the last so many years of humankind, right? Now, one can make the argument, since we had them, that's why we've had so many people, So it's a huge debate, but I'm just mentioning we got this far without all that. The body is very unique in order to deal with stuff. So there is a theory out there that by us, the measures we took to isolate, wear masks, don't come in contact with other people, that somehow now we are now more susceptible to any kind of thing that's out there, including RSV, any of these, COVID hybrids that are changing constantly, partly because that Dr. Kieran Moore ruled out any new mask mandates in the province unless COVID-19 changes significantly and vaccines and treatments are no longer effective. Masking was one of our only tools when we didn't have vaccines and when we didn't have oral outpatient treatments like Paxlovid. It was something we were dependent on, but we're obviously seeing that there are some negative consequences to not being exposed to the normal respiratory pathogens over time, he said during an interview with the Toronto Star. I don't know if the societal level I don't know if at a societal level we are ready to go back to mask mandates, he added. The theory, which has been widely criticized by some experts, is that public health measures were so effective at stopping COVID-19 and many other seasonal viruses that it has left many young children especially highly susceptible this year. Now that mandates have been lifted and more viruses are circulating, it counters some evidence that exposure to COVID is affecting some people's immune cells and weakening their immunity. Moore said that it makes sense that people with long COVID have some kind of immune dysregulation, and the province is reviewing the hypothesis. But he says his personal belief is that, quote, we have more susceptible children that have not been exposed previously, and that is causing this rise, unquote, or end of quote. He added that masking will always be an important public health tool when unknown pathogens are spreading and there are no other tools available because it works. And then, quote, but once we have therapeutics and vaccines, continued masking can decrease our overall immunity to other viruses. That is a lesson I think we're learning. That's interesting because Yeah, the vaccines are, it's an interesting thing all around. We were told at first, if you get one, it's 100% effective. It's going to stop you from getting anything. And then once everyone got it, or 80%, 90%, I heard even some statistics as high as 96% of Canadians got it. I don't believe that. I think it's around 80, 85%. But anyways, then we were told, okay, no, you can still get it. However, you'll just get it less. And maybe you'll not have to go to the hospital. And then we were told it only lasts so long, so you will need more going forward. So monthly, every 3 months, whatever it was, you're going to need a new one. And then with all the variants that are out there, you're going to need that as well. And now, because you're immune compromised, the flus that come out are going to be even more whatever. So you're going to need more of that. And so the answers are just getting to more and more. That's the only answer that there is, which I don't necessarily buy into that that's the only answer. I believe it's always been a little bit of everything. People ask me how I lost weight. It's hard to describe that to somebody, because first I stopped eating carbs. So I lost 45 pounds and I was able to keep it off. 3 years ago, and on Halloween, I just said, my daughter said, "Dad, you're fat." I said, "Oh, okay, thanks for being so honest." And she said, "You need to do something about it." And that wasn't the only thing. My knees were starting to give me problems, and I know the extra weight was part of that. And so I started just kind of asking around. So, hey, well, how do people lose weight? Like, what's gonna work? I went to Paris Natural Foods. We pick up things there on a regular basis, and I talked to one of the people in there, and he says that the keto diet did it for me. I said, what's that? I heard about that before. He goes, well, mainly it's getting rid of carbs. So I heard that rung a bell with me, getting rid of carbs. And he said, this is a picture of me 5 months ago. And he looked like me currently at the time. And, big lower midsection there. And he was totally flat when I was looking at him, totally flat. His stomach was flat. And I said, wow, so this works. He goes, yeah, it works for me. And I know other people too. And that week, there was about 5 people that told me cutting out carbs was this magic bullet to losing a lot of weight. And I said, oh, okay, well, all right, well, that's what I'm going to do. So Halloween night, all the candy was coming in, and it was all candy all around. I decided right then and there to cut out carbs for whatever period of time and see if I see results. So I think within that, and I had a really good friend that gave me a recipe book of how to make things that don't have carbs, because carbs are bread, rice, potatoes, chips, because chips are potatoes. But anyways, so all your snacking foods, sugar, all that stuff. So, wow, how do you now change your eating habits to go to that? And so I just did it. I did my own thing, my own way, listened to my body. I tried to just kind of try things out. I did a few of these recipes. I changed my eating habits. I ate a lot of salads, whatever. And then that was one thing. I lost about 30 pounds doing that within about 4 months, very, very rapidly. So it was just like the guy said at Paris Natural. Now, I didn't eat handfuls of butter and fat and all these things that the keto diet offered. I don't even still to this day don't know all of the keto things. I just took a hold of that whole cut down carbs thing, and that's what I did. And so after that, I'm like, okay, what else could I do? Is there any more weight I could lose or whatever? And I said, well, I noticed my metabolism slows down later in the day. So if I just cut down my portions of eating now, so portions was one of it, sizes. And yes, even though you're not eating carbs or whatever, I still ate too much salad and too much food. And I got into dark chocolate instead of milk chocolate. I needed something sweet, so I started going into dark chocolate. And then I started eating earlier in the day. So stopping eating at around 5 and not eating anything after that. And I found I was able to lose a couple more pounds and keep them off that way. And then the more and more I started doing, I said, what if I stop eating at 4 and then 3? And so now I got it down to I eat my first meal of the day at around 9:30 or 10 in the morning. And then I eat my last meal of the day, get this, 2 o'clock. 2 o'clock in the afternoon. I do all my eating between 10 and 2. And it's still the same. And I'll eat some bread now. I'll eat some carbs. It's not the end of the world if I have it for breakfast. My metabolism's able to burn it off. But to answer that question, and there's still more to it than that, a lot of water. Like in that time I'm not eating, I can fill my belly with water so I have that full feeling, and that's a little trick. Also, it flushes me out. Water, first thing in the morning, a giant thing of it. Giant thing in the evening, a little bit before going to bed. And so it's not an easy question to answer. Now eating healthy too, because you're not eating certain things. You need to put in your diet certain things so you're getting all your vitamins. And to answer that within just a quick conversation, oh, how did you lose the weight? And you want to say it in a sentence, I say cut down on carbs and intermittent fasting now. And but for somebody who's just going from eating the way they eat now to doing that, it's a really hard jump. If you don't explain, well, take your time, start with this, do that for a few months, then go into and little by little change your eating habits. And it's not a diet. It's just changing your eating habits. And then they say, well, do you exercise? No, actually, I don't do any exercising as part of my weight loss. I'm going to start doing that now at the end of 3 years of doing this. So that's going to be added in. So I'll tone up and do things like that. So health is a very complicated thing. And for us to just say, take this needle and it's going to solve all your problems. It's like the magic pill. If someone comes on TV and says, you'll lose 40 pounds if you just try this new pill and, blah, blah, blah. And look at me, I've lost. If you believe that, go right ahead. I would say try it, see how it works, and just go from there. But I tried what I just mentioned to see how it works, and it worked. I'm a walking, living example that it works. 45 pounds and able to keep it off, and I feel healthier. I sleep better. I used to get headaches a lot. Don't get headaches. I used to snore a lot. I don't snore anymore. My knees don't feel like anything anymore. I can do anything because I'm not carrying around 45 extra pounds. And I was able to lift a 30-pound bar and go, wow, this is what was on me. If I was carrying this around with me all the time, that's what it was, right? So the importance of being healthy, taking care of your own health, listening to your body, listening to what works for you. And now we're just getting this one-size-fits-all Band-Aid from, of all people, the pharmaceutical companies and governments and whatever. They're one-stop shopping, one solution fits all. Again, it's hard for me to believe that, because it's a lot of things. Your health is a lot of things, not one shot in your arm kind of thing. It just can't be. It just won't be. And what if there's something that it was rolled out so quickly? What if there's something that is could possibly harm that natural immune system that your body has in there? We don't know that for sure. We honestly don't. And so all these mandates that are wearing masks, getting a shot, just really quick, easy, simple solutions to these things. It's more than that. And I know people just want that to be the answer and just want it to be simple and just want to get on with your lives. But yeah, that's the world we live in, and it's going to be controversial. What I just said, probably going to push a lot of buttons, and it is what it is. But that's me. That's what I do, and that's what I did, and that's my life. And so, Jerome, you're just going off here with all kinds of stuff, and unfortunately, I wasn't able to share things as you were saying them. But yeah, you obviously have strong feelings on the medical system, and I've been able to see some of those things for myself as well. But that's our deep dive for today. I was going solo on a solo deep dive, so unfortunately, you just got a rant. And I hope it was informative to some degree, today's show. And I hope that today you'll have a good, a good Friday and enjoy the weekend. Make sure to dust off your car if you're going somewhere. You're going to have a lot of snow on it. But we'll be back same time, same place on Monday. And we will be taking a bit of a holiday on over the Christmas holidays. So I'm not sure what that's going to look like right now, but we're going to take something. But stay tuned now for Earshot Daily on CKLU. Thank you so much for being with us today, everybody, and commenting. Make sure to like, share, subscribe, follow, all that stuff. We really appreciate it. Thank you, Facebook, for sticking with us and allowing us to have this show as you're monitoring things. I don't want to say anything that's going to, get anybody, do any hurt anyone's feelings, or I don't mean any ill intent to anything or anyone. I'm just trying to help us navigate through our local issues and our local, national, international issues through this medium. And I really appreciate you and your platform. It really does help us, and I believe it helps the world. So stay tuned now for Earshot Daily on CKLU. We'll be back same time, same place Monday. Have a great weekend, everyone. Ciao.
This is